Auto-obsessed here. We've got something to show you from Flex Tools. We've got a limited edition polisher. We'll do an unboxing and dive into all the details, so stay tuned. So this is something I haven't seen in the industry before. Flex Tools is long known for their polishers. They're out of Germany. They create a very high quality polisher. And one of the polishers that's famous in Flex Tools is the 3401, the Beast. And it's a force rotation tool that is very well known in the industry. It's a very powerful machine, and it's a staple for a lot of detailers. Well, Flex is on their 100th anniversary, and they introduced a tool in a very limited production that we have here today. On the outside, we've got this black box, this beautiful writing, Flex, the Red Beast inside, the limited edition, and a picture of a race car. We've got 100 years of Flex 2022. So this is released for Flex's 100th anniversary. On the outside here too, something different. So we have a serial number. So each one of these units has the serial number on the outside of the box as well. So inside, we have a limited edition certificate, and on the certificate has your tool number, your serial number. And here we go. So this is a 3401, and right off the bat we can see it's quite a bit different than the traditional 3401. On the front here it says Red Beast inside, and then your serial number. This is also embossed in it. It's not just printed on it, so it's embossed right into the casing of it. I take it out and it's got this logo here. And right off the bat, we notice this housing here. There's a beautiful chrome housing. Normally it's done in cast, and this is in chrome. So the story behind this tool is, Flex wanted to celebrate their 100th anniversary, and they were trying to come up with what to do. So this polisher is a 3401 limited edition, and the Red Beast, so we know the 3401 being nicknamed the Beast, the powerhouse, a staple for a lot of detailers. The Red Beast is actually named after a race car. So Michael Winters has a race car called the Red Beast. It's a 4,000 horsepower race car. He's sponsored by Flex Tools. You'll see Flex on the side of the race car. And what they did was they took the engine from the 4,000 horsepower race car. They melted down the aluminum block, about 83 kilograms of aluminum, and every single one of these 1,000 limited edition polishers has a piece of that engine inside. So the aluminum casing is from that 4,000 horsepower car. So that's why it says the Red Beast inside. So the heart of that Red Beast race car, that 4,000 horsepower engine, got melted down, and a piece of that is in every one of these polishers. So it's something pretty cool. It has a little keepsake. So this is a replica of the race car, the Red Beast. You can see the logo here that matches the logo on the handle and on the box cover. What it is, it's an 8 gig USB key, so a nice little keepsake. The price point on this tool is very similar to a regular 3401. It might be something that you can use in the shop every day. Maybe you've got special projects and you're doing you're doing a cool car, and you're going to have a lot of photographs and maybe some video of the car, and you want to be using a machine that kind of stands out when you're doing a paint correction on that car. This tool is perfect for that. Maybe you just want to keepsake something in your showroom, your customer waiting lounge, or maybe your man cave. You want a special edition tool. This thing kind of has everything. It's beautiful. It's got some hardcore history in it. There's the heart of the 4,000 horsepower race car. They're all individually marked on the tool, on the certificate, and on the box. It's a cool little package. Some of the features of this tool. So this particular limited edition version is only made in 120 volts. So it's primarily made for the North American market. You may be able to use it in other markets with a converter, but the machine, the 1,000 units, is only built in 120 volt. It's got 590 watts of output power. It's a forced rotation polisher, so that's gear driven, and it's got an 8mm orbit. It's variable drive. It's from 3200 to 9600 OPMs, and it weighs 2.6 kilograms. So one thing with the 3401, there's a few different types of polishers that are made. So we have dual action, rotary, and then this is called a forced rotation. So this is a gear-driven machine. Unlike a dual action polisher that has a clutching mechanism in it that stops the pad from rotating under pressure, or maybe if it gets caught up, the forced rotation polisher is somewhat similar to a rotary, where a rotary, very difficult to bog it down. It's a direct drive. There's no clutching system on it. The forced rotation uses a gear system. So it has a bigger orbit, as I mentioned, has an 8mm orbit, unlike a rotary that just spins in one spot. But this has the power like a rotary, where it's a workhorse. Again, called the Beast, it won't bog down. So this is great for RVs, gel coat, heavy cutting, any situations where you need a lot of power and you don't want the machine to bog out and stall out. Now, some of the advantages of a machine like this is it does have the orbit. So like I mentioned, it's got a 3200 to 96 OPM. So it covers a bigger area. So this now is more friendly for beginners and intermediate polishers. Also, you can do better finishing with a polisher like this versus a rotary, for example. So those are some of the features that the polisher has. There's only 1,000 of these units available. We only have a few left. They're in our store at autoobsessed.com. Help us bring more detailing content to you by giving us a like, leaving us a comment below, and subscribing to our channel. We've also left the link to the polisher below to make it easy for you to check it out. Thank you for watching.